It's Happy Hour again from Uptown New Orleans. Hello, I'm Grant Morris. Happy Hour is part of the family of shows on the podcast network. It's neworleans.com. When you walk into a bar in New Orleans and you pull up a bar stool, you never know who's going to be sitting on either side of you. What you do know is no matter what they look like, what they're wearing, whether they just got out of a limousine or just got out of jail, they're going to be happy to talk to you. Because that's New Orleans, and this is Happy Hour, a cocktail-fueled 60 minutes of random conversation with folks who have nothing in common. Other than we're all New Orleanians in a bar. Today we're at the fabulous Wayfare on Ferret Street, where Andrew Duhon is going to tell you all about Wayfare right now.
They put fine dining in a sandwich. I just remember that
they
you always say
don't put
that.
fine dining into a sandwich. That's what they used to do.
Oh, okay, right.
And then
It's
they
a
gave me a
radically
whole
new
new
menu.
thing to say.
Right, yeah, it's a radically new menu.
Yes.
Let me see if I can do this verbatim. Radically new menu and radically new happy hour.
Yes.
Drinks half off and appetizers half off from 4 to 7.
No, 3 to 6.
Shit.
Try it again.
No, let's just roll
Okay.
on.
From 3 to 6 every day, they have a fabulous happy hour and brunch on the weekends.
Yeah.
So you can come down here to Wayfare on Ferret Street with your friends or just hang out with us for the next
I can
hour
vouch for
while we're here.
the drinks for sure, and the half-off
Yes.
appetizers are pretty outstanding.
I know. Everyone's got a good drink. Jeff Schmidtke is here from the band Shadow Brother. Hello,
Yes,
Jeff.
I'm very well, thank you.
You are very well. I didn't say that. I said hello.
Oh, hello. That's the accent.
What? No, so I guess
I
you
thought you
feel...
said, how are you, too, yeah.
Did you think that?
Yeah.
Did I say how
It's
are
like
you,
somewhere-
Brian?
I
think
heard
you
it.
did.
That's what I
Did
heard.
you hear me say how are you?
It's a New Zealand
can't-
hello.
This is,
It's like, how
this is
do
Brian Levy, Sensei,
Hi.
and Nandi Campbell. Nandi, did I say how are you? Or,
I'm just impressed that you pronounced my name right. Thank you.
well, you told me how to say
I'm
it.
doing well.
Most people say Nandi, I would imagine, because it's spelled N-A-N.
Mandy, Naomi Campbell, which I don't mind.
Naomi Campbell.
Naomi Campbell's
You look a bit
okay.
like Naomi Campbell.
Thank you.
Whatever
I love you
happened to
forever for
Naomi
saying
Campbell?
that. She's still alive.
I'm sure she's still alive. What's she doing? Just come on in here. a wee
Oh, I
bit.
have no idea. I'm sorry.
What did she do? She was a lingerie model or something?
She's a model, a supermodel.
Why do I think lingerie when I think Naomi Campbell?
She was one of the Victoria's Secret models.
Ah, there you go.
Did she
So I was
marry-
right about that. Okay.
Didn't she marry the bass player of U2?
I think you're talking about...
really?
Is that someone else?
Yeah, Imani.
No, she married David Bowie.
Oh.
Wow.
It's amazing how we know this shit, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dumb knowledge.
Jeff, what
Useless
do you say
knowledge.
the bass player in U2? What was his name even?
Oh, gosh.
Bono?
Adam.
Not Bono.
No.
No, he was a singer.
Was it
The
the
Edge
Edge?
was a
The
guitar
Edge is a
player.
guitar player,
Adam.
so he must
Larry
have been...
Mullen, was he
been-
the singer?
That's
or
the
drummer?
drummer. I think it's Adam something.
Adam Clayton.
Yes, maybe.
Oh, wow. This is impressive.
I couldn't have done
Do you
that.
think
What
that's
about
what
you,
it...
Brian? You got it?
I don't know.
Are you guys U2? Are you a U2 fan, Brian?
Not a huge one, but I had a roommate who was in high school, so
You had a roommate in high school?
that sounds wrong.
What?
Yeah, I went to a residential boarding school in Natchitoches, Louisiana.
Cool.
It
Okay.
was
Was
more
it 'cause
trouble than you could imagine getting into when you put together 16.
Did you go
17.
there because you were bad or because you were good?
Supposedly because I was supposed to stay in the state and do good things, but I left afterwards.
Where did you grow up? Where were you? Here in New Orleans?
Shreveport.
Shreveport.
Born in Baton Rouge and always
I
came
can
to
tell
New
you were
Orleans.
born in Baton Rouge because you say it with that G. Born in Baton Rouge. Did you hear that?
Is that a thing?
Baton Rouge.
Yeah. It's a
Baton
thing.
Rouge.
Do you know that? Come on,
I
yeah.
got friends from Baton Rouge, and they call it Beirut.
That sounds like Beirut.
Yeah, well,
That sounds
Beirut.
better.
There is that.
Beirut, yeah.
Jeff, where are you from?
I grew up here, Metairie, officially.
Metairie. So is Andrew.
There you go.
What school?
Metaireans.
Well, what high school did you go to?
Yeah,
I went
exactly.
to Archbishop Rummel High School.
Nice.
Which high school did you go to?
Brother Martin.
No kidding.
Aha.
How about that?
How was Brother Martin? Did you get Catholicism instilled?
It was instilled, yes. A good
Did
bit
it
of it
take?
was. Did it take? Jury's out on that one. So.
Really? Well, do you ever go to church, ever?
Ever, yes.
How often?
Christmas was a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
I went there.
You went
then.
to church on Christmas?
I
That's
sure did.
nice.
That's nice.
And what did you think about that? Did you get any sort of... did you get any kind of like religious feeling or...
The organ sounded really...
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
Rad.
there you go,
Yeah.
yeah. Culturally, it's nice to go back after you're a layperson and, again, and just experience that a cultural phenomenon, maybe,
What is the cultural phenomenon about church? It's the opposite.
It's always there.
It's just like, if you've never experienced a Hindu ceremony, you would
Yes.
go to that thing and you would say, oh, this is an amazing piece of culture, right? But you think...
I'm not
just
sure.
because it's
Nandi
your own-
does not agree. No, I don't think it's culture. It's religion. It's two different things.
No,
isn't it?
Why isn't religion part of culture?
I don't know. It doesn't feel like it's the same thing, is
Let's
it?
define culture.
I think culture is what's the opposite of religious? Secular.
Secular.
Maybe.
The way of the people, how things go, right? Isn't that, culture? Culture is what binds us together.
But religion doesn't bind us together.
Community does, and
Right.
and I think church
Religion
is that
separates
community.
us.
I don't think I'm talking about church, not religion. I'm talking about the ritual. I think the ritual is
Right.
culture.
Nandi?
Right?
Nandi, you're an attorney. What's your position on this?
I have no position as it relates to religion, but legally speaking, I think that he's probably right if you talk about the community aspect of church. I'm assuming that was the question when you asked him when was the last time you've been to church, and he said Christmas, and you went because you could be one with your community, right? Or you had to because it's mandatory in your family.
Or you didn't want to upset your mom.
Or you were celebrating the birth of Jesus
I
Christ.
think the community
I
aspect.
forgot about that one. I'm sorry.
I think the community aspect disappeared after my parents' generation.
Okay.
So I don't find it to be as community-based anymore as it is religious belief-based.
So why go on Christmas? I'm just curious because people go during the holidays.
Because I don't want to be struck by lightning.
Okay.
That's why.
Okay, I get it.
You mean you don't want to go to hell?
It's a good question. There's bits and pieces
We're
still
all on the
hanging
path,
around.
brother.
Okay.
You think it's like an insurance policy?
No, it's more than that, I suppose, or else I wouldn't go.
What time did you go? What service?
Christmas Eve, 4 o'clock.
4 o'clock in the afternoon. That's real
The
New
bad
Orleans.
thing is I couldn't tell you the name of the church I was in. That's the sad.
That's pretty bad.
It's the one near my house, but
You don't know the
if
name.
I said it, St. Francis?
That was definitely a saint, I can guarantee
Is it
you
on
that.
Metairie Road?
No. St. Xavier? No.
Where do you live?
I live on Henry Clay.
Henry Clay.
It's on State
St.
and-
Stephen's.
No. Oh, this is embarrassing.
State.
Henry
St.
Clay, right by
George?
Henry Clay
St. George.
near Magazine?
Yes.
Okay, I know lots of people who go to that church.
Henry Clay magazine.
Is it not St. Francis?
Yeah.
I
thought it was...
can't picture Henry Clay right now.
I thought it was St. Stephen's. Henry Clay's got... it's near the park. And
Right.
the corner of Magazine, it's near the Audubon
What's on that
Dental Clinic.
What else is on that? Yeah.
Children's
Court-
Hospital?
Children's
Oh, yeah.
Hospital
Oh,
is
that's
down the
far
street.
out.
On the corner is actually Pastor Ray Canata's house.
Oh,
You know
We could
Pastor
Google
Ray?
it.
We could.
well.
But
who
none
cares?
of us have
And
phones
then
at
it's
this
near
table.
Whole
But we don't really give a fuck, so let's just move on.
Yeah, all right. Anyway, so you live on Henry Clay Uptown.
Correct.
And that's a nice spot. What do you do besides playing in this awesome band, Shadow Brother, which we've just discovered?
Well, the day job is selling coins, of all things.
Wow. Selling coins.
Yes. Such a cool...
Why didn't
How
you
does that
call
work?
your band the Buffalo Nickel?
You're a numinist.
It was on the board.
I think that's a good band name.
Buffalo Nickel. I'm going to write that down right now, actually. That could be a good name for
Not
us.
that I'm saying the Shadow
Brother.
is a bad idea. It's not bad.
What do you mean you sell coins? Like commemorative coins?
No. Circulated or uncirculated coins. Pennies, nickels, dimes.
Pennies.
Yes.
How much can you sell a penny for?
A
Don't
little
tell me
bit
that.
more than a
About
penny.
rare coins here? Okay.
There's not much margin in pennies.
No.
What do you get for a penny these days?
Oh, the most was 12 cents.
Wow.
12 cents. What kind of idiot paid 12 cents for a penny?
What kind of penny was it?
Was it on Bourbon Street? I bet I know where you got them pennies.
It's like a Wyatt Earp penny or something, like back in the day, right?
Actually, no, it was in 2009 when they changed the back of the penny to commemorate Abraham Lincoln's
super lame.
bicentennial celebration.
No thanks.
Yep. And
Okay.
everyone
so then
wanted them.
The value of the
and there
penny
were
went
very
up.
few left.
Tell us about a cool coin.
So I don't do the rare historical stuff, but if I had to guess what a cool coin would be, it would be an error coin, something that
Okay.
With a mistake.
yeah.
was.
How does that happen anymore when they print millions of them?
It's the machine,
Just fucks up.
and then it somehow does not get pulled out because there are measures taken to remove them from circulation, but sometimes they will get slipped or missed, and they will end up in circulation, and that's how they're basically found.
Wow.
You have to get some sort of certification to do this.
If you want to grade coins, yes, but not to sell them, no.
It's
Do
funny.
you have a storefront? Or you
I
just...
don't, because I wholesale.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
How'd you get into this thing?
I worked for a bank.
You just
Wrong place, wrong time.
just took pennies when they weren't looking.
We don't have enough time in this show to
Well, we
talk
do
about
actually.
all of this.
What bank were you? Or can't you say that?
It was a bank in Tennessee, in
Right.
Memphis. They were trying to be the fulfillment center for the U.S. Mint, and I was on the same floor as the department that had opened, and they needed some extra hands, and I was around doing something completely different.
What were you doing originally?
I was doing corporate research and development, so all of the employee-based research.
Right. So that's a real gig.
That was
with a career path.
correct.
And you
Yes.
got off that.
Way off.
What enticed you into the coin department, other than the proximity?
I guess a pay raise
Oh, that's always good. And is it-
initially.
Do you have a collection?
I do not collect coins.
Do you hate coins?
I don't hate them. I just don't collect them.
All right. So what do you actually do then? You buy and sell.
Oh goodness.
Do you have a company of your own?
If you were selling to people, many people that wanted a particular year and mint mark and uncirculated condition, you can't go to your bank to get them because chances are they won't have exactly what you need.
Right.
So they have to find somebody that can supply exactly what they're looking for in mass quantities and large quantities.
Which is how many?
So for a quarter, a $500 box. So there's 2,000 quarters at a time to someone. Yeah.
Who the hell wants 2,000 coins?
People that sell them to collectors.
So if I'm a collector, it's someone who sells them to. So you're not selling to the collector.
No.
You're selling to the wholesaler who collects. So you're even
I'm selling to the
To the
retailer.
retailer. So
Correct.
you're the wholesaler. So where are
He's
you?
the big guy. You're up there.
Yeah, you're high up the food chain. in
The mint
coin-
is the
coin.
big guy
Yeah.
So you're the next step down from the mint,
from the Fed.
Oh, wow.
from the Fed. So you're a heartbeat away from the Fed.
You're like
Correct.
Fed Jr.
Yeah.
That's pretty impressive.
Another good name for a band.
Fed Jr.
Fed Junior. Blind Fed Junior. Wow. So you get a hold of. So someone comes to you and says, "I want 2,000 quarters," or do you instigate this thing yourself by going to the mint saying, "I need 2,000 quarters"?
No, the retailer comes to me with a demand or a inventory list that they
Right.
need, and so I try and supply it to him or her.
Is it mostly guys?
Mostly, not all. No,
But mostly.
older.
Mostly
Yes.
older guys collecting coins.
Well, the collectors for sure,
Right.
but the retailers, it's a good mix of men and women.
So when do you squeeze in playing music?
At night.
What kind of music?
Well, I read something recently that said it's psychedelic folk,
Nice.
which I had not heard before. Just trying-
Psychedelic folk. Okay, so now we're going to have to hear something because that doesn't make any sense, that
Yep.
description to anyone.
Yeah.
What do you call it?
rock,
Rock.
and roll,
Rock and roll.
rock with a little bit of roll. Yeah.
Okay. I thought it sounds like sort of good old-fashioned upbeat pop music.
Yeah, there's
That's the funk, huh?
psych pop is another one.
Psych pop.
Yeah,
That's good.
Well, let's
heard.
be the judge of this.
Okay, so what are we going
Is
to
that-
listen to? So you have... Okay, so the band is called Shadow Brother, and the concept is, as far as I can understand, is there's three of you guys, and no one is in the same city.
Correct.
Oh,
Everyone makes this music by
Oh,
The
by
interweb.
circle.
yeah.
So you record something and send it to the other guy, and then he adds something to that and sends it to the next guy, like a
Pretty much.
daisy chain.
Loop de loop.
That's
So that's
cool.
pretty. Hey, here's Graham DePonte, our producer. So that's kind of unusual, right?
So I'm told. I didn't think it was that unusual, but I think the more people I speak to about it, the more people say that.
It seems like you're pretty trusting because you're doing what you want, and then you give it to the next guy to do what he wants
Well-
without conversation or with.
There was 10 years in a practice space before we got to this point.
Oh, wow.
So we're pretty
Got it.
well seasoned
Dispersed after having, formed the relationship.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
and very trustworthy as well.
What were you called before this? Shadow Brother?
It was Augustine originally, and then the third man after the cease and desist order came for that band.
After the cease and desist order for Augustine, who was called Augustine?
Some band in Hawaii. that was about to go on tour with Hot Topic,
Wow.
or
Okay.
the Hot Topic tour.
And
so that was
sunk
that.
And then they sunk without trace as well, I guess, right? Augustine.
Now
and then-
there's 500 Augustine bands at this point. So
Are there? I don't think you could copyright a title, but I guess you can.
Yeah.
Oh, what's that? Nandi's a lawyer.
Yes, you can.
it was, yeah, it was
You
copyrighted
can.
in Tennessee, but
Absolutely. Whether you do it legally or do what we call the bootleg copyright, where you just mail yourself a letter
Right.
and you use the postmark to state that's when I copyrighted it.
Have you always had a voice like this, or what?
No, I have allergies, so I'm not trying to be sexy because I'm sitting at the table with you four hands.
Well,
and
you don't
thighs.
have
I
to
have
try.
I'm gonna
allergies and my
start
throat
doing-
is really scratchy.
I'm gonna start
and so
doing that as well.
please, I'm sorry.
What do
You hear me in court, I'm like screaming and yelling. I
Are you?
sound like a Brooklynite, but
What?
I just...
I read something
should
cool.
read it.
Graham sent me a bio about you, and it says it's got a couple of words I don't even know what they mean.
I didn't write
Sound
it.
them out, Grant.
Okay. First one says, what was the first word I found? Truculent. It says truculent. After a series of trials and acquittals, Nandi became known for her keen attention to detail and truculent litigation style.
That's so funny. So I used to work for Jason Williams, and he actually wrote that bio.
He wrote this.
And I had to look up the words when I saw it.
You didn't know what it means either.
Bellicose and truculent.
Yeah, it's got
I was
bellicose.
like, Jason, what the hell is this?
That
Who
was
the
my
hell
next word. Consequently, she began her private practice in an effort to give each case more of her attention and time based upon her bellicose brand of lawyering.
I don't know what the fuck that is. But I heard it was good, so I left it in the bio.
I really like the idea of making up words in your bio, though. Just,
Yeah.
you know.
They're real
Well, does
words.
anybody-
Joe.
I know,
look
but
them up.
I
Googled
think
them.
we
Brian-
should
They're
make them
real.
up. I think
Brian
we should make
has
up
an
words.
education, right? You went to Natchitoches General High School.
That's
boarding,
right.
Whatever this. What was the school called?
Louisiana School for Math, Science, and the Arts.
Louisiana School for Math, Science, and the Arts. Okay. Do you happen to know what truculent or bellicose means?
Bellicose sounds like warlike.
Oh.
Like
Bellicose.
just like good at like really standing for something, and truculent, stubborn maybe. I don't remember.
You don't actually know.
That's a GRE word, so I don't know.
It's not stubborn.
Not stubborn.
Graham is almost a writer.
I know words.
Okay. Graham, what does bellicose and truculent mean? Do you know,
Bellicose
Jeff?
is warlike, like
Warlike.
warlike.
Can we
like,
talk
yeah.
into a microphone here for a sec?
So bellicose is fighting.
Bellicose is fighting.
Yeah, it's like it's.
You have to be 100% sure because we're going to hear about this if you're
bellicose
wrong. right?
means it means like you're a fighter, you're a warrior.
Okay.
beautiful warrior.
Truculent,
Beautiful warrior. Bella.
Bella,
as in
exactly.
beautiful.
Thank you
Coast.
for adding that.
As in, okay. As in costume.
and
I don't think so.
truculent.
And truculent.
You know, I should know that one.
Truculent.
It's like the same.
At least we know how to pronounce it, so we're onto something. We're not fucking up the pronunciation.
Yeah.
So you send this out to people, Nandi,
I do. I love
and you
it.
don't know what it means. Why
I
would
would
you?
too.
Well,
Would you?
I would absolutely.
You,
send that.
sent out a resume, a bio that
If it sounded like that, hell yes.
when it was first written, I looked it up and it sounded great, so I said, fuck it, I'm going to leave it in there.
right.
And now I just send it. And every time I send it, people are like, oh my God, look at these words.
She's
And
bellicose.
Jason loves that he did that, and so I'm going to leave it in
Now,
there.
is this-
Jason wrote that?
is this
Jason wrote that.
is
Jason's
this
been on our show.
Jason is the city council
Yes.
person. I think he should be the mayor of New Orleans. That guy,
I think so too.
based on the 60 minutes he spent talking to us on the show, he was great.
Yeah, he is.
And are you still in touch with him?
Yes, I used to work for him, and then he went to city council, and so then I broke off and opened my own firm. And so he actually wrote that bio when we were going to do a website.
Right. But he got busy being a city council person,
It's a lot of work.
and then you went and opened your own law firm, which is called something difficult to remember.
NFC Law.
Yeah, NFC Law. It sounds like a football team or something.
I love it. My name is Nandi Campbell, and I think NFC just sounds really official.
It does.
It does.
And it
Sounds like
eliminates people
NFL.
just messing up my first name by calling me Nandi.
Nandi.
Yeah.
It sounds like Australian, mate. Nandi.
Yeah, it's
Where are you from? New York.
I'm from Brooklyn, New
From
York.
Brooklyn, New York.
Bed-Stuy.
Bed-Stuyvesant. What brought you down here?
New Orleans. I first moved here to become a public defender. I love the weather, the music. I became a Jazz Fest addict.
Right.
And so I said, let's go.
Might as well stay.
Yeah, I'm here. I just bought a house last year. So you can't get rid of me.
Well, where did you buy it? Where are you?
Central City. And Brian said Central City was safe, and then I had to tell him I walked into the middle of a shootout last week.
Did you? Why would you walk into the middle of a shootout?
I think
Why
I was
didn't you run away?
texting or something, and then I heard the shots, and I turned around and I saw the shootout, and I know how
Wow.
to drop and roll. I'm
Did
from
you do
Brooklyn.
that?
I
Did you
did.
drop and roll?
I was okay.
What were you wearing? Anything good?
I don't remember. I think I was wearing my suit from court.
I would have thought I don't want to mess up my clothes. I'm not going to drop them.
Well, Brian suggested I
mess
give
up
him
your
my business card. Like, hey guys, when y'all finish shooting, come
Good
get my
idea.
business card. Yeah.
Do you do that kind of
No.
law?
Oh, criminal defense.
You do?
That's my
Were you a public
specialty.
defender originally?
For a
so you-
year.
For a year, that was enough, right?
That was about it.
Yeah. So how do you get paid when you're a criminal defense attorney, a private one like you are?
That's a good question.
Thank you.
You get a retainer, and then you just hunt down your clients for the balance.
So this is someone who's committed a crime, who's
Allegedly. Always say allegedly.
allegedly
okay?
committed a crime.
Allegedly.
So a lot of people who allegedly commit crimes don't have a lot of money unless they've robbed somebody maybe or they're a drug dealer.
Oh, no comment.
So
So it's
So how do
basically
you-
their families,
it's
right?
not like these
So
white-collar crimes where these guys are super wealthy.
I get some of those, but it's basically the family. So you're arrested, and then your wife, your girlfriend, and your second girlfriend all get together,
Right.
and they pile a bunch of money
Do
together.
they know
and
each
then they
other,
come to
these-
me.
do these
Sometimes
three-
I have them all come into the office.
So do they know each other typically or only after I've committed a crime then they all get to meet
I
each
don't
other?
know. That's a good question. I've never asked. I'm always impressed that they're all together.
The wife, the girlfriend, and the other girlfriend.
I've had that happen 3 times.
I understand the wife and the girlfriend, but the girlfriend and the second girlfriend
Yeah, it seems
cooperate?
like in New Orleans you guys are like a lot.
Interesting.
That's a New Orleans thing, particularly? Or is it a murderer type thing?
I learned about it here. So I practiced in Georgia for a year, and I experienced it here. So it's kind of like a back to the community theory, right?
Back to
Everybody
church.
get along, one family.
So, what kind of crime has this guy committed? We're totally stereotyping people here like it's a guy, but I suppose most of these guys are guys, are they?
The percentage are males, African American
Okay.
males, and I practice. I will defend you if you're arrested for marijuana. I will defend you if you're arrested for murder.
Okay.
No traffic tickets, though.
But marijuana, you don't normally. I mean, you get paid for that because how much? Because that's a one-day appearance in court, right?
No, I wish it was.
It's
here
that- it's
in-
complicated?
Yeah. It's like a 3-appearance
Really?
crime. Our DA is really tough on drug crimes here. You'll be surprised if I don't get diversion and I want to go to trial. It takes about 3 or 4 appearances for a misdemeanor.
Is that right?
That's
so
correct.
So that requires the wife, the girlfriend, and the other girlfriend all pooling resources.
I don't
Even
think
just
they need
for a
that
week.
much for our marijuana.
No, so it's just mostly someone who's killed someone.
And I don't
Allegedly.
barter.
Is that right? It's mostly murder? Alleged murder or
The
what?
bulk of my cases are murder,
Right.
aggravated rape.
Aggravated rape.
I have a few rape cases.
And that aggravated rape
Why
guy
did you
has...
look at him?
I don't know. I don't know.
Sorry.
Yeah, he knows my rap sheet. He did his homework.
So
It's always the musician.
I'm interested in this in this detail though. Someone who
Musician
commits
slash rapist.
aggravated rape has got a wife.
Allegedly.
Allegedly has got a wife, a girlfriend, and another girlfriend, and he's
Sometimes.
still raping person number 4.
Allegedly. Huh.
Well, I'm saying allegedly.
We have the innocent until proven guilty
Okay,
thing going on
but
in
this
this
guy's
country.
got
It's still
3
there.
chicks he could have sex with. Why is he raping the girl number 4?
Well, the 2 cases I had where there were 3 partners in, actually one was a murder and one was a theft, a post-Katrina contract theft.
Contract theft.
That's correct.
Someone hired this person.
We had a bunch of contractor thefts after Katrina.
A
You had
contractor theft.
Right, I'm sorry.
I'm not a contract theft like
Not
the
a contractor,
mafia.
like they stole the contract.
Oh, they
right.
stole like tools from a contractor.
I'm sorry, it's contractor, fraud, theft. After Katrina, a lot of homeowners got bamboozled by a lot of contractors. And so I got a lot of those cases after Katrina.
Oh, okay.
And so I had one guy from, I think he was from Georgia. He had a wife, a girlfriend, and another friend. And then I had a murder case in the same situation.
And did you get the guy off that murder in the end? Or does he?
I think he pled, the murder pled. And I think
What does that mean? He
so
pleaded guilty.
95% of our cases are going to plead criminal cases,
That
no
was
matter where you live.
That means you admit guilt.
Admit guilt or say I'm pleading because it's in the best interest, right?
Is it?
Or-
If you didn't do it, is it still in your best interest to plead guilty to
If it's
murder?
no contest, right?
Sometimes Louisiana is a one-witness state, so if Brian said, I shot someone and he's sticking to that story, I can be convicted of murder just based on Brian's testimony alone. So some people say, I don't want to risk it. Brian testified really good. So I'm just going to go ahead and plea so I can do 20 years instead of my life.
Even if
Brian is a really good testifier.
Even if I didn't do it and Brian just got it wrong.
Some people
I'm still going to say 20
knock
years.
Off Brian, maybe.
It happens a lot.
It happens a lot.
Aikido.
Unfortunately.
So there's a lot of people, innocent people in jail because someone like Brian, I'm not saying you're going to do that, Brian.
Yeah,
Not with an education from science and math.
I mean, to go to trial, it requires a lot, right? It's a risk thing. I don't know if you're gamblers, right? So no matter how bad or good your case is, there's a possibility you're going to get that jury that says, I don't like the way she looks, I don't like what she's wearing, and I'm just going to find her guilty. And so some people don't have the stomach to take that risk. And those are the people who probably plead down and know they're pleading, not because they're guilty, but because it's in their best interest.
That has got to be the most fucked up system.
I mean, what more do you need in the modern era to feel like you're really safe in a jury of your peers? I think it's safe to say
Requiring more
that.
evidence, right? Not have a rule where one witness is enough.
Yeah,
Right.
I mean, I don't trust any of my peers these days.
Well, what state should we kill someone in where they need two witnesses?
There's a few
Every other one.
Really? I think it is.
Probably.
But there are a lot of states that require corroboration if it's just one witness. And I can't think of any states offhand. I know practice in Georgia requires more evidence than just one witness.
Is this related to the Napoleonic Code or for Louisiana?
Yes, we're all codal.
But how do we get to a situation like this? With all these lawyers and people like you, smart people, why doesn't someone push to have that change? That's insane.
I think that the criminal defense lobbyists are not very strong. The district attorney lobbyists are well funded.
What about someone like Jason Williams, who's extremely smart and connected? And you? Why wouldn't you guys do something about this?
So it requires something on a statewide level, right? And New Orleans
It's got to start somewhere.
I agree. And I think that if you look at the whole of Louisiana, there's not a lot of people who are going to be kind of gung-ho to move our laws to help defendants, unfortunately. I think it's a little different here in New Orleans, but you have to look at it on a statewide level.
Okay, but if you can make the point that there is a number of innocent people pleading to spending 20 years in jail because that's the best option.
There are people making that point. There are people. Like, we had a lot of movement with juvenile justice this year, and I think slowly we're going to get there. But if you have a whole state who are kind of want to be hard on criminal law. They want to be hard as far as criminals are concerned.
Right.
That's the problem.
But we're sending a decent number of innocent people to jail. Is what
we are the most incarcerated here in Louisiana.
Right.
So we're setting big
I've
numbers.
had a great idea that I've mentioned on the show before, and no one's gone for it. You might like this idea. I have this idea for a court system where someone goes to court and they're hauled up before the judge and they put their hand on the Bible and they swear to tell the truth. And then they actually do tell the truth.
Oh, that's good.
How about that for a radical idea?
You should copyright that immediately.
How about if everyone just told the truth like they said they're going to, with their hands on the Bible?
That's a unique.
It's worth a shot.
That's
it's a novel idea, right?
Let's try it.
Never heard of that.
Then we wouldn't have to have all this
Bibles
bullshit.
in the court anymore.
They don't have a Bible.
I think maybe.
Is there another book we could try?
Yeah, I was thinking the Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue.
Well, the phone book, no one uses the phone book anymore.
Yeah, but no, exactly.
Case-by-case basis, depending on the defendant.
Something that's sacred,
But it's pretty.
The Star Report?
like the swimsuit issue.
That's more sacred. Even if what do they use now when they say they don't
I think you just
nothing?
raise your hand.
You just raise your hand and swear to tell the truth, the whole truth.
That
and then
premise
you
has
just
to
lie your
start
ass
with the
off.
police. You have to start before you're sworn in. So everybody in the process have to tell the truth.
Yeah, that's
even
what I'm
the
saying.
police officers.
Well, while
right?
you're in the courtroom, at least you have to tell the truth. You can say what you want outside, but in the courtroom where it says, "Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help me God," and you say yes. Then what about if you just did in that courtroom? You have to tell the truth.
I'm going to take that on.
Well, journalists
think
have
that's
fact checkers. Maybe we get some fact checkers in there
Too
and a
much fake
firing
news.
squad.
Too much
Yeah.
fake news.
But everybody knows in that
Truth
courtroom.
serum.
Everyone's got an opinion, even if they're like Brian, they're lying and they're a bad witness, a hostile witness, or whatever. What is that called when someone?
A hostile one.
Well, someone
Perjury.
says, "I saw the guy perjury."
Perjury.
I can't believe that people really do that. How could you have I guess you just have no conscience whatsoever.
I believe that once you tell the lie, it's so hard to get out of it, especially when the stakes are so high, right?
You dig in.
Yeah. This is how people get shot. Anyway, I'm interested in the guy with the girlfriend, the wife, and the other girlfriend. That's a fascinating person.
He needs to write a book.
Could we?
My theory is if you could afford all of them, then it's okay. My father, at one point was going to have 3 wives, and my uncle had 2. And of course, they weren't legally married, but if you could afford a large family,
if you got the psychological capacity to have 3 relationships as well, that would be rather difficult. Your uncle had 2 wives?
Correct, for 15 years.
Wow. Did they know about each other?
Yes, they lived in the same house. Wow. 2 sets of kids.
In Brooklyn?
Yes.
Wow. And what did the neighbors think of that? Nothing?
I don't know.
It's
kind of norm to me, so I don't really know what the neighbors thought.
And then was your uncle your mother's brother? Or
My father's brother.
Your father's brother. So your father thought, I'll get in on the act as well, and I'll have 3 wives.
No, he was supposed to do it first, and it didn't work out. It didn't kind of mesh.
Were you involved with this? Were you alive at this point?
Yes, I am.
So you were alive when your father said, I'm going to bring a next...
Well, my 3 older sisters,
yeah.
One born January, one born March, one born May. So I come after...
Not the same year?
The same year. 3 wives after.
Right. Okay.
So
your dad got these 3 women knocked up in the same January, March, and May?
Mm-hmm.
God, that's
Which was great. I grew up with 4 mothers, right?
So all these women knew each other, and you were all living in the same house?
We never lived together, but we were in the same community.
Right.
I graduated from law school. I had my mothers there. I introduced them as mothers. People lost track.
These are my 3 mothers.
Yeah.
Well, 4, actually.
Well, 3 was in law school, ironically.
Was your mother,
my mother,
who gave birth to you.
That's correct.
Who was married to your father.
Correct.
And then these 3 other women who
2
he got.
others.
2 others total.
Right.
Oh, so there's 3 total. Okay.
That's correct.
Okay.
And then my dad got married.
Right.
Okay.
So your dad knocked up these 3 women in whatever month that was, 9 months before, in 1 year, and they were all born. Was he having a heart attack at that point?
No.
Was he? He was cool with it. I'd be freaking out if the phone rang and said,
had 8
guess
kids
what?
total.
I'm pregnant.
Yeah.
He had 8 total.
Yeah. Monogamy is not a natural thing, and I don't want to turn it. It's not a natural thing. What in your life do you say, I'm going to wear the same clothes every day, I'm going to eat the same meal every day?
Right.
And so I have some really interesting thoughts as far as monogamy is concerned. I know it comes from observing my father interact with people in a certain way. It's not a weird concept.
Right. Yeah. What are you dating a couple of guys at the same time?
No, dating in New Orleans suck. And so I travel a lot, and I work a lot, so...
So what does that mean?
I don't date in New Orleans.
Why? What's wrong with guys here?
So I come from New York, where people get married older. Here in New Orleans, people get married really young. So I'm 45, so the pool that I get to pick from are either like divorced with a bunch of kids, right? Or some man who wants a side chick and a girlfriend.
Okay.
And so it's a lot of baggage either way. So.
But if you have these ideas about, monogamy, or maybe further out that box, would you consider yourself someone who could consider, in the right circumstance, being in a relationship that was not monogamous?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's kind of intimidating for a woman to introduce that, I find, too.
Mm-hmm.
Men are like, what?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Are you crazy?
What have you been all my life?
Yeah. And it's intimidating to women, too. I realize that this is very unusual to say out loud, especially in the South. Oh, dear. Are we recording?
Yeah, no. It's 2017.
No one listens to this. Have you floated this by other people around here? Do you find people are shocked when you say this?
I'm just a shocking person. I think people don't, they're not surprised by anything I say anymore. So,
well, I think if you can get away with it, it would be great, actually.
I mean people do it all the time. They're just not honest about it.
It's a secret, right? You only find out after you shoot somebody, and then your wife and your girlfriend and the other girlfriend have to cough up a whole bunch of money. But do you think, would you be interested in dating 2 guys at the same time, for real? But if you met the 2 right guys, or just in
Sure,
principle?
Why not?
Right. You don't think after you met one guy that would be like enough?
If he was enough, right?
But if he's not.
If he was enough.
You can't get everything from one person necessarily.
Yeah, and we don't
Brian,
do
what's
that
your
in other
deal? Are you
areas in our
single,
life.
married, or what?
Married.
You married?
Yeah, but I was just talking.
Would you have an affair with Nandi, if I could pop that up for you? Graham, what's up?
We know Brian's wife.
We know Brian's wife.
So that means no affair.
Is that going to ruin everything?
Depends on whether she listens to this or not.
Tell you weren't on it.
Brian's married to Lisa Tab.
Lisa Tab. We love Lisa Tab. Okay. Well, she'll be totally cool with you having sex with Nandi if it's not. What about falling in love? Is that okay?
Yeah, sure.
So you can be in love with two guys, no worries.
Sure.
Okay.
Right? We love a lot of people, right?
I think so. Yeah. Brian, are you cool with falling in love with two women?
I think it would be. Sure. I'm cool with it. I think it'd be complicated.
Jeff, what's your situation? Are you married, single?
I am married. Married, 2 children.
You're not married to 2 children. You're married with 2 children.
Married with
2 children. Let's just get the preposition correct.
Both
that
mine.
could be complicated. I have got a lawyer for you just in case you do want to marry children, but I don't know if we can get you off that one.
In case my boy and girl drive me crazy,
Yeah.
I'll consult you.
Champagne. How old are your kids?
one just turned 4 and one's 5 months.
Oh, 5 months. Wow. So would you consider having a girlfriend and another girlfriend? Given that your wife's not listening to this?
I want to answer, no, not a girlfriend and a girlfriend. No, that just end it.
Just cut it off.
Just cut it off.
Cut it
and
off
then
right
have
there.
as many girlfriends as you want without any rule breaking involved.
Well, it's only a rule if you accept. I mean, there's no law that says you can't have a wife and a girlfriend. There's a law that says you can't have 2 wives.
I think the courts would disagree, right?
No. It depends on where you live, and it only comes into play if somebody files for divorce.
Right. Then it becomes a law.
Well, hang on. What law says you can't have a wife and a girlfriend?
Well, it just comes into play when you get divorced. So it's a fault divorce, right?
So that's regarded as
So you're punished based on that.
illegal?
I would assume.
What could happen to me?
You could eliminate that by having contracts with people, though.
So if Brian wants to have a relationship with you as well as Lisa, he's going to have a contract? It
No,
says
to
what?
avoid the at-fault divorce, right? To avoid being penalized if it all falls apart, you just say, hey, Lisa, Lisa and Brian, we're going to sign a contract.
It says I'm allowed to bang other people and you
Just that
can't
there's going to
hold
be no
that against.
replications for our having this
And
relationship.
how much does it cost me to get that drawn up?
I don't do contracts, but I notarize for free.
For free. So we can write a little contract here and get our wives to sign it.
Now, is that the same thing as a post-nuptial agreement? Is that what you're describing?
Sort of.
Question.
Okay.
I didn't know there was such a thing, but that's what it is, I guess. Have you heard of that before, Jeff?
I have, but I don't really know exactly what it is, but I have heard of it.
I guess that's what it is. It's an agreement that you sign that modifies your relationship after you've been married already.
AKA contract.
Yeah. And how common is this? I've never heard of anything like this.
I don't know if it's common, or I don't know if it happens all the time and people are just not talking about it.
Right.
I know in New York I knew several families that were living like this, but I haven't met anybody in New Orleans yet.
And is this a black thing or a black and white thing?
I
Or
think it's a black and white thing.
It is?
I think so. I think in the white community it's probably connected to religion.
religion?
Yeah.
What religion are we talking about?
I'm trying to think about
Mormons?
it. Mormons.
But I
there's
don't even
another
think the
one, too.
Mormons do that anymore, do they?
Yeah, sure
I
they do.
believe so.
They do?
Yeah. Polygamy?
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think there's any other religion. Well, unless other countries. Like Arab countries, there's people with 2 or 3 or 4 wives,
absolutely.
but I don't think that's a religious thing, is it? I think they just have a different religion, but culturally they... Multiple wives is acceptable. Brian, what are you thinking?
Just was thinking about having a harem.
What do you think? Good or bad idea?
I know. I just had a vision of a tent and olives and, other things.
Nice. Camels?
Yeah. They were outside waiting for the getaway.
That's an interesting concept. So when did you get married? You got married recently to Lisa. We know Lisa because she was a salesperson with us here.
Yeah, I heard
Ryan
about
Network.
that early on when I met her, like
Right.
first couple of dates. We got married.
It's one of the first things she talks about.
It was early on.
man.
It was early on.
Early on, all right.
Early on.
Makes me feel good.
Yeah, that's nice to know that we feature somewhere in somebody's
Yeah,
life,
yeah,
you know?
That's good.
Yep. I still have her card from it, actually.
Oh, yeah.
She gave me her card.
Oh, how cool. All right. What is she doing now? She worked for World Jewish Services or something?
Yep. Jewish Children's
Wo-
Regional Services.
Jewish Children's Regional Services. Okay. as a fundraiser.
Yeah, an event organizer too.
Right. Oh, really? Okay, that's what you did.
She's amazing at that. She organized our wedding like completely herself. She was like the wedding planner and the bride, and
You know, the
pretty
funny
huge.
thing is that we didn't get invited. How do you explain that one?
Yeah, please.
Uh-oh.
I'm
Seeing we're
offended.
yeah, really. Seeing where she mentioned us on the first date or two,
Major,
and yet we didn't get invited to the wedding. What
Yeah, what
about
say
that?
you?
major computer glitch.
Well, you can
Some
only invite
planner.
so many people to your wedding. Let's face it.
When did
So-
you get married?
May 14th
Right.
And how did you meet?
last year.
Congratulations.
We met online.
Oh, that's cool.
Yep, I was, just starting to online date. I'd never done it until about 2013, and it was more fun than I thought.
Which service were you on? Which one?
Okay, Cupid.
Okay, Cupid. All right.
There was
That's a good one. How did you meet your wife, Jeff?
Oh, we worked together when we were teenagers.
In the coin biz?
No. The YMCA.
YFCA.
Yes, sir.
Hey, come on. Down on Lee Circle there?
No, in Metairie
The YMCA and Metro. Wow,
Yeah.
you've known each other for a long
for a
time.
very long time.
Wow, it's time for you to branch out and get girlfriend number one and
Not without
girlfriend
a
number
contract.
two.
Not without a contract. No.
Don't move without a contract. Let's take a listen to something from Shadow Brother, which we were going to do
Yeah.
about a half hour ago. So what do we? Which one are we going to listen to?
I think we decided on Passenger's Ghost, track 10.
Passengers Ghost Track 10, which I love the song. This is on the new album, which is coming out, called,
Delta of Time.
with an extremely cool cover as well. Cover art.
Well, thank you.
Did you do that?
I wish.
It's really cool. Okay, the album is called Delta of Time. The band is called Shadow Brother, and the song is called,
Passenger's Ghost.
and here it is.
Professing a love for me. She lives
Well, is it just me? I love that. What do you think?
That was awesome.
That was nice.
Isn't it good?
Nice summer cruiser. I
Yeah.
always love summer cruisers.
What are you doing on that, Jeff?
I'm playing guitar and keyboards on that.
And who's singing that?
Toby Best.
Toby Vest. And he's in Memphis.
He is in Memphis. Jake Best, his brother, is also on guitar, and he's in New York.
Wow.
Brooklyn?
Your neck of the woods.
He's in Brooklyn?
Think so, yeah.
Okay, good.
So who wrote that? How did that start out, that song?
So it started out with an acoustic guitar and some lyrics, and then it expanded out from there. Sent off to Jake, and
You started it?
Toby
started. Okay.
that. And I got it maybe halfway through, and then threw on my parts, and sent it back up to Memphis.
So the thing that makes that song, apart from the lyric, is the sort of the happy vibe, whatever that. What is doing that? Is that a guitar part that's doing that?
Yes.
Is
And
that,
keyboards.
Who put on the keyboards? So does someone decide to put that in and change the vibe of the whole song suddenly, and you get that next, or did you do that, or what happened?
You know, I think the guitars tend to do that. With an acoustic guitar and a melody, you can kind of go any direction
Right.
you want to.
That's what I'm thinking. Somebody then gets that and adds that ringing guitar bit that makes the whole song, that gives it that whole summer vibe,
Yeah.
and then that changes everything. So are you surprised when you get that? You go, like, that was a good idea.
The melody, too, though, you know, with the pep and the step of the vocal also helps sort of dictate where you think, like
Right.
what you're hearing and where you can go with it. But yeah, I mean, we've done 180s before where it was solemn, sad, slow, and it changed, and vice versa. But
It's an exciting way to make a song, I would think. You get it, you get the file comes back to you, and you hit play, and then you don't know what you're going to get from your fellow contributors. It must be fun.
yeah, I think I think when Toby gets it back from Jake and I, that's probably what he's the one most curious.
Right.
You know,
Who gets the final say?
Toby. Well,
Chris.
yeah, and then Pete Matthews, he mixed the record. So Pete's got a rap sheet as long as his bar, and he I guess can he might be the only one to persuade Toby in a direction that he thinks is the right one. But at the end of the day, you know, Toby makes a pretty strong judgment call.
Well, this whole record is pretty cool. When is it coming out?
February 14th, Valentine's
Day.
Of all days.
2017. All right. Okay.
Considering the old theme of the songs, which is kind of fitting, I guess, based on the conversations we've had about relationships, multiple relationships, divorces, contracts. So it works. The album works with that topic.
You guys getting together for a
conversation.
CD release show?
No plans to play live right now.
Yeah.
Well, everybody says the only way you're going to make any money in the music business now is playing live. You're going to worry about that.
We've
just
never
doing this-
made money, no.
You're just doing this to make music.
Yes.
Wow, how cool is that? That's a great position to be in, isn't it?
Nice way
Yeah, I
to
mean,
do it.
it'd be sweet to make a dollar, but no, it's...
So you're just going to put it up on Spotify. We're all going to steal it and listen to it and enjoy it, and you're going to get nothing out of it whatsoever. Other than the
more or
satisfaction
less.
of knowing that only your 1 cent or whatever
I might
it
get
is.
a comment here and there.
Yeah,
Makes
comments
it
are
all
nice.
worthwhile.
I would love to go hear this live myself, actually.
Yeah, so would I.
You would?
Yeah, it would
Well,
be.
why don't we hook it up?
Yeah.
We just have to
We'll
get these
see.
guys to fly in from Memphis to New Orleans. They could drive here even.
We'll see.
Okay. Well, maybe we'll get Brian to go kick some ass, because that's what he does for a living.
Well, you could
Look, he looks very
Seriously?
this guy looks very mild-mannered, doesn't he? We haven't even talked about what
You
Brian does.
MMA?
Then Andrew's going to play a song in a minute, but let's talk about what Brian does. You know what he does?
No?
He's got an organization. He's the founder and chief instructor of NOLA Aikido,
Oh.
where he kicks
You're the
ass.
first person to say Aikido correctly in
He's doing
That-
all types
I've
of
done
years.
Nandi and
Really?
Aikido
Yes.
now. What do most
Yes.
people say?
Aikido or Aikido or Aikido or yeah.
Okay, I can't even hear the difference in any of those, but okay. so how did you get into the kicking ass business?
I read a book
Aha. Fatal.
before YouTube. Yeah. now it'd be YouTube, but
What was it called?
Way of the Peaceful Warrior. It was made into a movie a few years ago with Nick Nolte as this old sage that works at a gas station. The movie was almost watchable, but the book was very cool.
Cool.
It was about a gymnast who met this guy and just liked what the guy was sort of giving off, his vibe, and got drawn into this whole spiritual path, and Aikido was part of it, and it just somehow intrigued me. When I went to grad school in linguistics in Santa Barbara, leaving Shreveport, where there was not much at the time besides, you know, Mexican restaurants, Italian restaurants, and Chinese food was the extent of ethnic and cultural diversity in that city. Then riverboats came. But
Is Aikido, is it more about takedowns than strikes? Is that a thing?
yeah, it's all about redirecting attacks. So whatever you bring, I try to completely blend with that. And at its best, you do almost nothing. You just put yourself where you need to be, and the resolution occurs, which usually means you fall down, go flying, or get pinned.
So,
But, yeah.
could I get a couple of drinks in me and then just come at you and just, you know, I'd like to get
Demonstration.
taken down
That
legitimately.
would be fun. Because I have to, like right now,
Just flip
I
the
would be
table over and
teaching
go for
kids class right now, but
Yeah.
I'm grateful to my students Laura and Keith. Shout out to them for
Yeah.
teaching right now.
Yeah.
Got to go back to the dojo and teach an adult class later, but I'd love to stand here and drink together, and then
Kick Andrew's
and
ass.
then
Yeah.
well,
I just,
or
you
you
know,
kick my ass, or we
I
both
could-
fall down, or
I got nothing. I'd love
So-
to. Well, I guess in a less joking way, I would. That's a very interesting thing to, you know, to redirect my energy into something I didn't expect would happen. That seems fascinating. I'd love to
Really
to experience
fun.
that.
To
yeah.
throw
Very,
so
very
if
fun.
Andrew threw himself at you, you would find a way to deflect and
well, I mean, I would never
Defend
I would
yourself
never
without-
claim that if anybody, you know, whoever throws himself at me with a grab or a punch or a kick or a knife or whatever, that I'm going to be invincible or that I know
But
I'll,
there's a pretty
I'll
good-
know I'll survive
Is
the
that
next
why you
shootout.
call it peaceful? Is
Yes.
that why you add that element to it?
Yeah, we actually changed how we try to we're trying to put it out there as like, what is it? Is it just a martial art of whatever? And we finally went with the art of peace, because the martial part's part of it, but it's more about how do you create peace, which I know sounds whatever, but
is it self-defense?
it is. It is, because you get out of the way, you send the person flying, and you're defending yourself, but you're trying to do it in a way that you don't destroy them. That's the difference.
But is it anything like judo or anything where you're
yeah.
attacking? Is there any attacking involved? When you're trying to pin the other person or beat them?
You usually don't have to. It's not a very good attacking art,
I
because
know what's so funny about that, Nandi. Really.
I just
funny
feel like
That's
you want to beat
serious.
someone and shoot someone. I feel like after this, you're going to
I don't want to shoot anybody.
I want to see what he does if Nandi throws herself at him. What's he going to do then?
I don't know. Well, we've already established that we had other contractual things coming. So,
I want to see that defensive move.
I think
Aikido is usually practiced at very intimate distances, so I really can't predict. But
You're in the middle of us.
but you've had a good.
and we are at happy hour in New Orleans, and we already established anything's possible.
But you've hit on a good point. When people find out,
hit on. Notice.
When people find out that you're a martial arts person, do they all want to kick your ass and take you on?
Thankfully, that doesn't happen a lot, probably because I come across as mild-mannered and don't come across like, bring it,
Right.
Unless I'm in a bad mood. But that's always a bad idea.
Yeah.
I'm always telling,
But does
like,
it ever happen? People say, "Oh, yeah."
it has never yet happened. I've
Never.
never been like
Nobody in a bar,
The worst
ever.
thing I did was over the holidays when my old friend in Shreveport, I was visiting at their lake house, and one of their a member of their family's friends, one of these teenage kids, they wanted me to show them something, so they weren't drinking, and I think none of us were. It was New Year's Eve, actually. And
Well, New Year's Eve, no one's drinking. That's normal.
Yet.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
But at this time, early on, when it was still before the kids' bedtime, they asked these 15-year-olds just to attack me with whatever they wanted. And I wasn't used to that. And the kids, they were showing off for each other.
Right.
So they really didn't want to fall down.
Right.
But the first kid just kept falling down and smiling and loving it. The second guy was bigger, so he was playing it safe and bouncing and not really committing to his attacks. He didn't fall down as much. He didn't hit me either. And finally, he was like, "Yeah, that's pretty good," and stopped. So that was the worst I ever did. Was
I thought there was going to be a third bear.
in Sweden.
Sweden. How did we get to Sweden? Okay.
Jumping to Sweden, I did
Yes.
intervene in 2 fights, and I did get punched in one of those, but it was on a bus. Swedes drink a lot around certain holidays, such as the weekend.
How'd you get involved? How'd you get involved in a fight on a bus in Sweden?
Because it was a major holiday and everybody was really drunk. It was called, I think it was Valborgsmäss afton, which is when you build giant...
Oh, that one.
You build giant bonfires. Everybody was so drunk, and there was one guy kicking someone at the bus stop, and then they got on the bus, and then they started fighting again, and I just decided to put myself between them. And
do you speak Swedish at all?
I do. I lived in Sweden for years, and that was where I went deep with Aikido. I started in California in grad school in linguistics, like I said, and then I went on to Sweden because of an earlier relationship, and also because of I stayed because of the Aikido. Went for love,
Go
and stayed
for the
love of
women,
Aikido.
stay for the martial arts.
That's it. And the fish.
And what does Swedish sound like? Who do we know from Sweden? Anders Osborne?
Anders Osborne. I've spoken Swedish with Teresa Andersson. She actually moved to Shreveport, so
Swedish chef.
She left here?
She did.
Swedish chef. Mm-hmm.
Swedish chef, I was going to say. Hurdy-gurdy. We can talk some Swedish.
Okay. What's up with Swedish meatballs?
They are not as big as the Italian variety usually, and
Is there such a thing in
cranberries
Sweden?
or lingonberries.
Well,
Well,
there is such a
lingonberries.
thing in Sweden as...
Yeah.
What got you to Sweden in the first place?
Met a woman in France when I was...
Aha.
Yeah.
Right. So that's what did it for real. So then you got married to her, or you just fell in love with her and stayed in Sweden?
In Sweden, I was thinking about earlier, talking about contracts. A lot of people never marry. It's starting to happen more now, but there's a contractual arrangement in Sweden called sambo, where you live with someone, and after a year of living with someone, if you don't have a sort of equivalent of a prenup, you're legally common law married, and you can lose all your shit.
Wow. All right.
Not speaking from experience as to whether I know anything about that, but...
that happened to you, in other words?
Something happened.
Something like that.
What happens in Sweden?
Stays in
Det stannar
Sweden.
I Sverige. Vi får inte prata om det.
What happened to Mrs. Sensei Levy then?
Which one?
The original one.
Oh.
The Swedish one.
Life went on. Didn't work out, and she got married eventually and had kids.
Are you having kids, you guys?
Don't know yet.
So your name is Robert Brian Levy Sensei. So what?
I would
or is
never
that
call
wrong?
myself sensei because
Well, why is it down here on this piece of paper?
because it's a bio, so then you can get away with calling yourself that. And
It's like truculent.
Then you see me didn't call yourself right.
You're
Truculent.
a bellicose and truculent sensei,
right, but
aren't
I'm
you?
peaceful. I'm a Pacific bellicose sensei.
Okay.
The Atlantic kind's really, really dangerous to be avoided, but
So you speak Swedish. What else? Other languages? You
Romanian, which is useful when vampires attack. You can just say, something happens.
Holy crap. Why do you speak Romanian?
That also was a romantic embroilment in Sweden with contracts that caused trouble.
Okay, so
goes back
did
to
you
that
have
variety,
these two
isn't
chicks
that
at the same
variety?
time, the Swedish and the Romanian?
What stays in Sweden happens
Sounds
in
like
Sweden.
the
How
answer
does that
is
one
yes.
go?
At least you have the languages to separate them.
Yeah, it's
Man,
better.
you're an
That's better
interesting
than
guy. This
better
guy's-
than Eastern Europe, right?
This is a real
Never
dark
tell
horse
Romanian.
kind of show we've got going on here now.
Yep.
So you've got the Swedish girlfriend and the Romanian girlfriend at the same time, and you don't speak
I didn't say
either.
that. I didn't go on record saying
don't
that. Wait, how'd you
speak-
say that? Guilty. What was the thing?
Take the
Talk
fifth.
to my
I
attorney.
take the fifth. No, yeah.
Plead no
Okay,
contest.
so, and you don't speak either of these two languages as a first language, and you learnt them both from these women?
Yeah, it's the best way to learn.
Man alive.
It's the most fun way to
Andrew,
learn.
we're really slow. And
I do
Jeff, you
feel-
married to one woman since the YMCA and
Yes.
in high school practically.
I got married when I was 14, yep.
I remember you're 14. That was,
I'm jealous. That sounds better, actually.
I don't know. I would have loved to have learned Swedish and Romanian,
Me too.
especially Romanian.
It would have
I
been
think
fun
would
to
be
learn
interesting.
those and be married for a long time and have kids,
You can't have everything.
No.
You have to be happy with your Swedish and Romanian.
Very useful, very lucrative.
And your Aikido.
That's at least fun and can
Can you go
buy coffee with them.
Could you go around the world and teach Aikido in Sweden and Romania, for example, to the
I've
gypsies?
done a few. The gypsies have all come to Sweden, so you could do 2 for 1.
Oh, that's right. They've
That's
all-
the whole EU thing.
That's the
yeah,
whole problem.
it's weird. In Stockholm, when I left, there was a lot of homelessness. You wouldn't think in a country where a socialized system was working so well, but I left to come here in 2007. Now, like when I go back every year, it's getting worse and worse. They're privatizing everything, and then because the EU the EU. I mean, all the Romanian Romani, to be PC, are coming and begging. So every time I go to Sweden, I get to speak Romanian walking around because they're all sitting in the streets playing accordion. And they don't expect anyone to say, hey, do you really need money or whatever, or, you know, or do you, they have a sign in Swedish saying, I have 8 sick kids, and, you know, it's like, so I start saying Romanian, I'm so sorry about your kids, and they're like shocked that you're speaking Romanian to them, but anyway.
Do you look Romanian or Swedish or anything? Or
probably more Romanian.
You do. So when you're away, do people? You don't look Swedish. Are they all blind?
Do not look Sweden.
Not really. Not Swedish. But
Sweden's
you could get away
really
with
diverse now, though. Sweden. When you go to Central Station in Stockholm, like 1 in 9 people are darker skinned. There's a lot of Central Americans, a lot of Africans.
1 in 9.
Yeah, I don't know if that sounds good or not, but
Lots
it was
of bikinis.
Oh yeah.
All I know. That's good.
Do you want to go to Sweden?
Andrew, we got to make Andrew play a brand new song for us right now.
I can, or we could just, keep rolling. I don't, I'm here every week, so I don't need to play a song. If you
don't want to?
I can if you want me to.
I would love to hear it. Would you like? Would you like to hear Andrew play? Yeah, I think I think it would be a fitting moment right now to hear this Andrew's new song. She just wrote this morning.
Wow.
This is just thoughts that I had this morning.
Okay.
If it becomes a song, it'll sound different next time.
Be the first to hear this?
You are.
Nice.
I didn't even play it for my mom yet.
Nice.
Hi, Mom.
Do you have a name for it?
Nah.
Okay, so we have the lyrics written down on a notebook. Here we go.
Yeah, they're in there somewhere. Let me get into character. I busted out, I'm free at last. Still I catch myself looking back. I miss the inside, I miss my bed, I miss my cellmate. I waited months to make my break, but now it's freedom that I want to escape. I miss you, darling. I miss our bed. I miss my cellmate. Wish I could crawl back through them vents. I should have never hopped that goddamn fence. Give me a name, who I gotta shake down to get you to take me back downtown. I busted out of your pen. My mind replays that night again and again. But darling, is it a crime if I want back in? There is no promise out here, no thrill of the chase. I still carry around a key to your place. Darling of mine, is it a crime if I want back in? Hey, thanks, y'all.
Yes, Andrew Duhon.
Really awesome.
I love that. That's a pretty good start.
Thanks, dude. Yeah. Well, I think it's pretty clear. It's pretty, that one's pretty saccharine. But I like the idea. I want to mold it a little bit because I like the idea of, someone who is, in the pen for a long time. They want to go back in because that's what they're comfortable to. And I can relate that to relationships and whatnot. And, whether or not it's good for you or if it's just a creature of habit, I don't know. But, yeah, it's a real thing.
It's nice to be in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, I kind of want to, I feel like Tom Waits would take it in more places that happen, like tell you more about what the cellmate does. We draw pictures and we put them on our wall about all the places that we never got to go or something. Just little things like that could be cool. And
Well, this is just the first draft, though, so you can do all that still.
yes, yeah.
And it's pretty short.
Yeah, I like short songs. When it comes to simple songs, I like simple short songs, You don't got to drag it out. Just make the point, get out
Well,
of there.
that's the art of being able to make that point in a short space and make people feel what you want them to feel.
Right. Like, say what the most important things are and let people's imaginations keep singing it along. I like those songs where somebody stops and your mind's still singing it into whatever you want it to be, the thought you want it to be. Like, those are the songs I like,
Well, thanks. You guys, we're going to have to get out of here and make room for paying customers, I believe.
Yeah.
Here at
Or we got to
Wayfare.
buy something. Let's get
Or
out of
we
here.
could just... That's happy hour. Look, thank you so much, everybody, for being here. Brian Levy, who's is it Levy? Pronounced Levy?
You're 2 for 2.
Who's pretty good. Who's a 4th Dan black belt Aikido specialist, and you can find him at NOLA Aikido, and you can find a link to that on our website, itsneworleans.com. Nandi Campbell has been here as well, who you
Thanks for
can find on
having me.
NFC Law.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And you don't even have a website that I can find on the internet. Do you have one?
No, I don't. I don't need one. Strictly referrals.
Really, referrals only. So if I wanted to shoot someone and get my wife, girlfriend, another girlfriend to come down and bail me out, how would I find you?
You will Google me. I'm on
Google.
Facebook, Nandi Campbell. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Twitter.
How did I find my lawyer for my...
That's the Brooklyn
How did I
accent.
find my lawyer for my murder case? Instagram. And Jeff Schmidtke from the band Brother Shadow.
Shadow Brother.
Shadow Brother. Almost had it right.
1 for 2.
Almost had it right. The album is called Delta of Time, and the song we heard today is Passenger's Ghost, if you want to go and try and find that after February the 14th, when it comes out and is available everywhere. Thank you so much to everybody who made our show possible today, especially Basic Swim and Gym and Hangover Destroyer, and our producer, Graham DePonte. Yes, our technical director, Thomas Walsh, our live feed directors, Asher Griffith and Grayson Jernigan, who made this possible on Facebook. And if you'd like to see this show on Facebook and see what we look like, you can go back and check it out. It's on our It's New Orleans Facebook page. Our theme music was written by and is currently being played by Mitch Foreman. If you'd like to be on our show and you can stay upright for about an hour while you sit around drinking, drop us a line. Our address is on our website, itsneworleans.com. You can also check out many other hours of Happy Hour that are up on that website, as well as some other shows we make here. Out to Lunch with Peter Asciuti, live from Commander's Palace, True to the Game, with the very funny Chris True, Midnight Menu +1 with Margot Moss and the man who ate New Orleans, Ray Canada, Louisiana Eats with Poppy Tucker, Milo's Music Parlor with Kim Vu, the podcast about death. Death, the podcast with psychologist Dr. Arian Alfant, and Questions from the Waiting Room with psychiatrist Nick Pajic. You can also find other great Louisiana podcasts at itsacadiana.com and itsbatonrouge.la. You can keep up with us on Facebook and on Twitter and a bunch of other time-sucking social media as well. And all of it we're called It's New Orleans, where you can also find photos from this show. You can find that on itsneworleans.com and on our Facebook page. Those photos are taken today by Catherine King. Thank you, Catherine. If you're listening to this on your favorite podcast app, thanks for subscribing to us. Take a moment, if you can, to stop everything and rate and review us. That helps other people find us. Our show is recorded live today at Wayfare on Ferret Street in Uptown New Orleans, right across from the European Waxing. I think it's called that, European Wax Center, actually.
It's a center now.
It's a center. Yes, so you can come down here to Wayfare, get yourself some half-price drinks during 3-hour happy hour every day, and the brunch on the weekends as well. Happy Hour is a production of INO Broadcasting. For itsneworleans.com, for Andrew Duhon, everyone around the table here at Wayfare and back at our office at INO Broadcasting, thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you back here next week on Happy Hour.
Heads up, denim lovers. Old Navy's biggest denim sale ever is here. All jeans are on sale up to 60% off. Styles start at just $12 for adults, $8 for kids. Plus, this Saturday and Sunday only, don't miss the Jean a Day giveaway. Want a free pair of Old Navy's all new jeans? Stop in for your chance to win. And for up to 60% off all jeans now at Old Navy. Valid 9/16 through 9/24. Excludes in-store clearance. 5 per day per store. Select styles. Jean giveaway in stores only. See stores for details.